Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Benton with the Chris and Sandy Show. Where we get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I say on every episode, we've got a great one for you. We have
Oh, yes, we have Alexia Jayy. She won the world famous amateur night at the Apollo Theater at just 9 years old. Alexia kept honing her voice, inspired by the likes of Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, and Sam Cooke. But it wasn't until she began sharing videos on social media that her career truly took flight.
and we're excited to have her on the show. So
Yes,
welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank
welcome.
you. It's good to be here.
And talking about when your career took flight,
Yes.
social media and the internet has made it been a game changer, ain't it?
Oh my God. What? If this was like 10 years ago, I
Mhm.
don't know if posting would have did what it did for me about a year ago. So yeah, social media has been a real game changer.
And thank God for it too, because
Oh,
of
yes.
COVID. And
Mhm.
speaking of COVID, how did COVID affect you, and what have you done to kind of maneuver through this crazy new maze we have?
Yes.
Well, COVID, it really kind of helped simply because people had no choice but to be on the internet. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it kind
Yeah.
of helped as far as listening to the underrated artists and things like that.
Mhm.
So I've been getting a lot of love from a lot of different people just from COVID. So I'm sad that it happened, but
Yeah.
Right.
as far as my career, it's been doing pretty good with people sitting in the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like for us.
Yeah.
We started the show January of 2020, so a
Mhm.
couple months before.
Before the pandemic really hit.
And
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
our original
Yeah.
plan was to do maybe 100 interviews first year. We thought
And
if
we
we
thought that would be a lot for us the first
And we
year.
thought that would be pushing 100 interviews first year, but we thought if we could pull that off, it would be a great foundation for a first year for our show.
Right.
Then COVID happens. And I'm like, I told Sandy, I don't like that COVID happened, but you know what? We need to take advantage of this
Exactly.
because all these artists and entertainers and all that don't have a place to talk. And we're going to give them that. So we need to step it up even more. And because of that, we did over 300 interviews last year and we're over 400 now.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Y'all are amazing.
And the crazy part is because everybody was shut down, we started getting bigger and bigger people. And next thing you know, we had like Sarah Evans on and Randy Travis. And next week we got the Latrell family
Yes,
coming,
Brian
Brian
Luttrell
Latrell.
from Backstreet Boys. Yep.
Wow.
And so it's just been crazy. So because of
Mhm.
COVID, our show exploded.
Yeah.
Although I don't like that people had to die from, I hate that side of it. But
Yeah, it's
we found our
terrible.
silver lining.
Silver lining.
Yeah, it's always something bad has to happen for the good to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was always told.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
sucks that people had to go through what they went through, but I am
Yeah.
glad that it's almost over.
Oh,
Yeah.
thankfully, yes.
Yeah.
It's almost time to go back outside.
Yeah, because it's
Yes,
great that we've been fully vaxxed and we're able to not have to wear that stupid mask
yes,
now.
and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Which down in Georgia where we are, we've been pretty much open since last summer. I mean,
That's
it's,
true. Yeah,
it's not like up in the north and all that where everything stayed shut down.
right.
We've been back at church since August.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I think we actually just, our church just started back maybe a month ago.
Oh
Oh,
I'm
wow!
wow.
in Alabama, so
Oh,
Oh wow!
it's
wow.
kind of
Yeah.
iffy in different areas. People do what they
Yeah.
want in certain areas, but my area was shut down for a good little minute. I'm in the country where there's really nothing. Everybody knows each other, so
Oh,
we've
yes.
been just trying to sit tight and
Yeah,
wait
Yeah.
it out. But I'm glad that everything
Right.
is opening
and
back
now
up
it's
because
going
I was
back.
getting a little bored.
We did.
So, what are some hobbies you like to do outside of music?
I would say I love decorating. I
Oh,
don't know
Yep.
why. When I was little, I used to watch all of those. I think it's HGTV.
oh, yeah.
I watched that so much. So when I got older and I was able to get my own, oh my God, I went crazy. I love everything about art, not just
Wow.
music, but everything about art. So when it comes to decorating, you can really express yourself in your own home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
decorating is definitely one. I would love to say I love drawing. I'm not that good at it. I'm not that good at it, but I would like to get better as far as
I
painting.
can draw trucks and cars, but that's it.
That's it. Like I can draw stick people, and I'm really good at the stick people, but I can't draw
Yeah,
trucks.
that's me. I get to stick people.
So what
But
would
yeah.
you say is something quirky about you?
People really look at me as this super sweet, quiet person, but when I'm by myself, I'm super goofy, super extra. So I can't wait till people get to see that part of me when I get super comfortable. But I am super goofy. Like I love animations and all that stuff, all that quirky stuff.
Yes.
So you need your own reality show.
You said what?
So you need your own reality show.
Oh
So
God,
people can
listen,
see
I
that
think
side.
people would be. Oh my! If I had my own reality show, me and my family, oh God, people would get a kick out of us. Really?
Yeah, because we kind of joke about that. Sometimes we're driving, and one of us will say something just out the blue, and we'll laugh and we'll be like, "What if a reality show was following us? They would pick that one quote,
Right?
and air it like they did with Jessica Simpson."
Oh, like the tuna thing. Yeah.
Yep. I tell my dad all the time. I'm like, man, if they give us a show and put you in it alone, oh my God, you would make so much money.
Love that. So, as you know, a lot of people would ask when you knew you wanted to do music, but I always had to go deeper than that. When did it click that this could actually be a career choice for you?
I'm gonna say when I first went on the Apollo.
Oh, yeah.
I could not believe that Michael Jackson he was here, you know what I'm saying? And he got to touch the thing and I'm like, oh my God, I could actually be a real singer because I don't know anybody who gets the chance as a 5-year-old to sing on the Apollo. And every time I sang, my mom always bought me these really cute dolls. So if I got to get that every time after I got through singing, I was like, oh yeah, I could definitely be a singer.
Although it was a different show, the Apollo changed Steve Harvey's life.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God, that was the best. See, when I went, he wasn't there, and I was so hurt. Oh my God, I think he was on vacation, and I was so sick about it because I was so excited about meeting him. So maybe one day I'll get to tell you about that story.
We keep saying he's one of our dream guests that we would like to have on the show one day. Because every time we get down a little bit, and it's, you want the show to grow and grow and grow, and I don't care who you are. If you're a creative, you want it to be bigger. You always do. And sometimes I'm like, when is that big break going to go through? Because we go through same ideas that y'all go through, and it's like I'll go to YouTube. I'll plug in the Apollo Steve Harvey story, a 10-minute video, and I'll listen to that. And I'm like, okay, it's coming.
Right. You got to manifest that thing. You got to manifest it. It'll come. I swear it will.
Now, speaking of that, and speaking of the toughness, as you know, a lot of people, they see the glory of your big artists and your big actors, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles that it takes, not just to get to their level, but even a career level within the entertainment world. And I always want to talk about that because I think that a lot of people kind of sugarcoat this side of it. So people step in not knowing there's sacrifice and a lot of it. So let's go there a little bit. Tell us a little bit about the struggles and sacrifices you've had to make even to get to where you are today.
Well, when I first started, I was dealing with my mom being sick.
Oh, wow.
But that's what made me really want to keep saying, I love music. I love it. It's always been in my heart. So that was the only thing that I could run to. So my mom was the reason I started posting videos. When I was found by Tip, it was unbelievable because I really was just posting videos, you know what I'm saying? Just to ease what was going on in my house, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when I actually first started working, oh man, it was nothing like I thought it was gonna be. It's day and night, night and day, and I have a son, so that's another sacrifice, him not seeing me sometimes. But thank God he understands. I love the fact that he's a very understanding kid. But the sleep, you're not gonna get that. If you're trying to make it, you're not gonna get no sleep. That's number one. And you have to be up earlier than everybody else. everybody else. But those are some of the sacrifices that I had to make as far as my career. You know, me taking care of my mom, also traveling, trying to do that, and taking care of my son as well.
Yeah, and that's like with us, you know, we of course the show makes no money, even though we put 40 hours a week into this thing. You know, this is our baby, and it's like we put all this time in it. And then of course we still got a life, we still got a marriage, we still got 2 kids, a 9-year-old, which you'll hear from him later because he always asks questions.
Okay.
And we homeschool him. We got a 2-year-old, a little daughter.
And we have our side job in the evening
that keep us afloat.
That keeps us going.
And
that's
so
a lot of sacrifices y'all's way too.
You know, so because we're chasing the same dream that an artist is chasing. You know, we want to be the Bobby Bones, the Ty Bentleys, the Kelly Clarkson shows. In fact, one of our ultimate dreams, and I always say this on the show because maybe one day somebody will be listening, right? You know, but our ultimate dream is to be the first married couple host of a daytime talk show.
Oh wow, yeah, that would be super dope. Because
and you know, Ellen, we were like, Ellen's stepping down. We can take that spot.
Yep, you sure can.
But again, you know, when you look out there, they're really, you know, most hosts are just co-hosts. They're not married. So
right, that's a different dynamic to it.
We just got to get her talking a little more. We just got to get her talking a little more, though.
I'm trying.
Look, she's doing good.
Oh, thank you.
So we talked about the sacrifice a little bit. Let's go the other way and talk about the glory side. What are a few moments, and we know the Apollo is one of them, but what are a few moments where you're like, wow, I got to do
that? My first one as an adult is when I got to fly out to Miami. And I got to go in a real studio. And I know that sounds crazy, but where I'm from, we don't have that type of stuff. You're either in somebody's house or because I live in the country, it's nothing but cows, chickens, and pigs and things like that. So when I flew to Miami and got to go to the studio for the first time and work with actual real producers, I was like, wow, I'm really sitting in here working with people who've worked with, you know, different celebrities, and they think I'm super dope. You know what I'm saying? So it was really like it was like a mind-blowing experience for me.
You know, speaking of studios, we went to Nashville for the first time a few weeks ago. And a friend of mine owns CDX Nashville, and he has his own studio there, and he invited us over. So that was our first time ever in a studio.
Yes, it was.
And it was really cool to see all the different equipment. And
and our 9-year-old got to play on some drums.
I bet he had so much fun.
So it was in fact, we had so much fun that we're going back next Friday to Nashville because we're planning on moving out there.
Okay, wow, that's amazing.
Because we feel like with our show, I think the next step would be to be in a place like a Nashville.
Yeah, I love Nashville. It is beautiful. I don't know what that street is. My mom always tells me to go on. Do y'all know what it is?
Broadway.
So
that's the main.
Went and I have to. I just have
to. Now, if you go, just to keep in mind when you're on Broadway, if you go on a Friday or Saturday night, really any night, it is people to people like this.
It's gonna be crazy.
Even though through the COVID, we were down there a few weeks ago, and it was jam packed then. And that
was probably even more.
It'll be interesting to see how it is when we go back because Nashville recently lifted all the bands. They can fill up 100% capacity, everything. So I bet and we're going Memorial Day weekend too. So I bet it's going to be really packed out.
Yeah, it's going to be super packed.
But if you want to really see things, daytime is laid back for Broadway.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to check that out.
And there's music, and another cool thing about it, we've never knew about this. But when you're walking down Broadway, every bar that has a band playing, they play right at basically the window,
and they have those open.
And those windows open, so they keep the window open so people that walk by can hear.
And it's live band.
Live. There's like 20 or 30 different. There's like 20 or 30 different bands that are playing at any given time.
All at once.
Oh my goodness, I would love that. I love a good live band. Oh my gosh,
nothing better.
You know, because of course you got the Kid Rock one, Dirk Bentley, bar, Jason. They all got the bars right there, and they all play the live music.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Y'all, I'm gonna have to go.
So, as you know, a lot of people they see you as the artist, but they don't see the teams behind you. And in our opinion, they never get the love
They
they
don't.
deserve. So, if you want to take a few moments just to tell us about the team that makes you who you are.
My team is freaking amazing. Like amazing. I'm gonna start with my mom because that's who I started with first.
Oh, yes.
She's been here from day I started singing when I did my first solo at 2 years old.
Oh,
Oh wow!
wow.
She has been in the forefront the whole entire time.
Wow!
You need to do
Mm.
this, you need to do that. We need to do this. We need to do that. And so it brings me to being an adult when I actually got a legit team. It was actually amazing seeing that my mother did all of those jobs that
By yourself.
it takes a group of people, but my mom, she was so determined. She was like, no, I'm gonna just do all of that for you. But my
Goodness.
team now, they are amazing. My manager, she's amazing. My producers, I love them. They are so sweet and they love me. They make sure everything, and I mean everything, is in tip top shape. And I love that.
So now there are probably 1,000 things to this, but just think of one moment where your mom went above and beyond for you and your career, and you're like, wow, she gets it. This is my passion and purpose.
It's so funny because I knew immediately what I was going to tell you. When I was little, I sung on the set on the show of Moesha, and we had
Oh
to
wow.
Oh, wow.
fly to California. My mother hates heights.
Mm.
She
Oh,
hates them, like she won't even go over bridges. So
oh,
when
wow.
she got on that plane, I knew then that she knew exactly what we were going to do, and she believed in everything that I
Wow.
had going on.
Wow.
So I thought that was pretty. She doesn't know that I remember that, but I remember.
Oh,
And
wow.
something that we bring a lot of people on our show, and a lot of young artists and actors on our show too, and as a common denominator. And again, I hope people don't mistake what I'm about to say, because it's if you don't have that support, you can still make it. But
Oh,
what we have
absolutely.
noticed is the artists and actors and actresses and all that have the support of that immediate family, the mother and father, usually get ahead faster than the ones that don't. And I just wish more parents would understand that. You don't have to agree. You might hate the idea that they're going to be a musician. And I think that a lot of times parents they misunderstand what being a musician is, because they see the broke brother-in-law on the street, and then they see your Blake
Mhm.
Shelton, your Eminem, and all the different
Uh-huh.
people. There's so many levels in between that
Yeah, they
people
didn't see
have.
that grind part. There's
Yep.
a
Mhm.
grind part that it's a process. It doesn't
Yep.
happen overnight. And I think a lot of people my age that I've talked to that wanted to be an artist and chose a day job because of their parents. It kind of sucks looking at my mom, and she supported everything that I did,
Yeah.
regardless of
Mhm.
when I did it. It makes you think. Like I wish a lot of parents understood that at the end of the day, it's their dream. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Don't
it's your
kill it.
kid. No matter what they choose to do, you got to be 10 toes down, because you never know who that kid is going to be. You
That's so
Exactly.
don't
true.
know. I bet his mom did. Dr. Dre's mom didn't know he was going to be Dr. Dre. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
So
Right.
you got to stand 10 toes down with your kids, because with that support, that type of support, it makes us
So
feel
much
better.
easier. And,
It
and
does. That helps a
speaking of
lot.
that, I can tell you where the other type of parent leads. I've got friends of mine who's been, say, 15 years in their career now. And I'm not talking about music career, but I'm talking about 9 to 5 type career. And they're miserable. And you sit down with them and you're like, why are you? I mean, I'm like, you're always like, you got this great family, you got this great lifestyle, you got this great career. And many times the people will say, well, that's the problem, the career. I'm like, what do you mean that's the problem? You went to school for 4, 6, 8 years for that. How can that be the problem? Like, well, I didn't go for me.
Exactly.
My guidance counselor, my friends, my
Yeah.
parents, my family, everybody said that what I wanted to do couldn't make money. So I had to have this big job. And now they're like drinking their life to death. They're miserable, and all that because they listened to
Their
people that didn't understand. And it's not saying that parents were wrong. They just didn't understand.
Yeah.
My mom, I remember writing a song, and in my opinion, I was very young and I probably shouldn't have been talking about the things that I was talking about that young. But I completely didn't understand what I was talking about. It was just from the music that I was listening to, the music that was being put out. My mom listened to the song and she looked at me. I was so scared. She looked at me and she said, that sounds amazing.
Oh,
That's
wow.
amazing. And everybody told me before I told my mom, it's like, I wouldn't let her listen to that one. And I'm like, if I know my mom, like I think I know my mom, I gotta let her listen to it. So when she told me that was amazing, I thought that was super dope as a parent, because sometimes parents don't know how to react to the things that their kids do. But it's most of the time it's harmless. It's just their art. Yeah. You gotta understand art.
Exactly. And Joe had a great point where he talked about the grind. A lot of people drastically underestimate the amount of work that goes into the entertainment industry. And that's so true. And that's why I always want to hit that side of it on our show, because I want people to understand that, yes, you may have the best voice out there, but if you're not willing to work, it does not matter.
It don't matter. It does not matter, because now, like you said, social media is everything. If you don't put yourself out there, who's going to hear you? Who's going to see you?
And now everybody can compete, because before you could get signed by a label, and unless you got signed by a label, you couldn't make it. Now everybody can compete in this crazy industry because of social media, which is good and bad all at the same time.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
So speaking of teams, a while ago, we've got a third co-host, our little 9-year-old that we bring on to ask a few questions. Sandy's going to go get him real quick. And we like I said earlier, we got a 2-year-old daughter that when she gets older, we'll be plugging her in the show too, because we are a family affair show.
That is so cool. I can't wait for my son to get older. He's still in the playing stage where he wants to be outside all the time. He loves singing, loves doing music, but it's mostly outside. So I can't wait till he get to the point to where he's ready to do stuff like that.
He can see exactly what you do and say, "Oh," and it clicks.
Mm-hmm. He tells me every day. He's like, "Mom, I sing better than you. I'm just letting you. I sing better than you." And I say, "You sure do. You sure do, babe." Because I want him to know, like, you gotta do what mommy does every day. I sit in a room and sing every day.
Hi, Alexia. So what's your favorite food?
You said what?
What's your favorite food?
Ooh. Are we talking about sweets or are we talking about salty?
Anything.
God, I'm gonna go with macaroni. I love macaroni. It's my favorite.
What's yours?
Pizza.
Oh, yeah, my son loves pizza. I think that's a kid thing. Like, pizza is, what kind of pizza do you like?
I like pepperoni, sausage, and supreme.
Yeah, he likes pepperoni and sausage. It's also supreme.
Also supreme.
Yeah.
That's different. I've never heard a kid like supreme pizza.
He loves it all on there. Like the other day, we ordered something from one of the restaurants, and I was getting almost everything on the burger, and he's like, "Well, I want everything on the burger."
That's crazy. Listen, my son is so picky. Oh my God, it's just meat and cheese. That's it. And he tells me, he's like, "Mommy, I want meat and cheese, and I don't want any ice in my root beer."
Oh wow.
Oh well, we've been lucky. He's not picky, and so far, we've been really lucky because he's not picky, and so far, Caitlin ain't either.
That's true.
Good. Oh God, that is so good, because that means y'all don't have to run back and forth to the store.
Okay, so what's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show, I'm gonna have to say right now, is the Teen Titans. My son has me watching the Teen Titans, and I kind of like it just a little bit.
All right. And what's yours?
Mine is SpongeBob.
I used to love SpongeBob. When I was like 9, he was my favorite, like my absolute favorite. What's your favorite episode?
What's your favorite episode?
All of them.
All of them?
He just loves them. We watch it over and over and over.
Oh, what's been cool, you got to.
What's been cool about it is he watches a lot of Nickelodeon and Disney shows, and we've been able to bring people from his shows onto our show.
Wow, I bet that's super cool being able to talk to them.
He's love. We never and you know when we first started this show, we never imagined that because we started this as a country music interview show.
Oh wow.
That's the roots of our show. That's why Nashville and all that, because that's the roots of the show. Then it evolved into a music genre show. And then eventually it ended up being a full-fledged entertainment interview show where we bring on actors and artists. So it's been crazy.
That is so crazy.
All because of COVID.
Right.
Okay, so what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I just watched the movie called Raya.
I think
I've watched it like 4 times already.
He said he thinks that comes on Disney.
It comes on Disney now?
Yeah, I heard that Ryan show comes on Disney.
Okay, we'll have to check it out.
Yes.
And what's yours?
Okay, mine is the Minions movie.
Really? My son loves the Minions. What's that song? I got it as my ringtone, and it's like da da da. I love that one.
Yeah, and our 2-year-old loves the Minions too. And we can be walking in a store. If there's a Minion on the shelf, she has to have us go in there so she can see it.
I was just in the store yesterday, and I told my son, because my son is in the music video with me on Who Raised You. And I told him I was going to get him a gift because he did so good in the video. And it was this big, it was humongous. It was a minion. And the eyes closed and opened. And it was $50. I was like, is that really what you want? Are you sure? So, yeah. Minions are a big part of it. Thank you.
Yeah, he loves that. He's getting a little better at communicating back and forth. So that's
that's good.
This process that we're seeing.
That's
so tell us about that video and the song.
With him.
So tell us about your song.
Oh yes.
Who Raised You?
Yeah.
It was. I was sitting in my car, and I was thinking about my personal experience. And all the things that single moms have to go through on a day-to-day basis. And I was just going through beats and I started singing, and Who Raised You came out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't post it at first because in the beginning, I didn't know. Like I said, I'm from the country. Nothing happens here. So I've been singing for a long time, not understanding that there are people out here who write music every day and they get recognized for this music that they write. I just write it and put it away. So something told me to post it one day, and I posted it and it went viral.
Oh, wow.
I know. And I was like, oh, well, and so, so getting to this point with Who Raised You is amazing because I did not know that it would touch so many people in that way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that it did because I just wanted, moms to understand that other moms understand what you're going through. You get what I'm saying? And for, the dads that step out on their kids to understand what single moms go through and what it takes the child through, because it's not just the mom that has to go through it.
Right.
It's the child that is traumatized as well. But see, we have to see it. You get what I'm saying? We have to see those tears, and we have to see, we have to answer those questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think Who Raised You was a really good idea to try to open some eyes and see it from a different perspective.
Most definitely. Love that story.
Love that.
So if you could co-write with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, Ray Charles, all day.
What would you want to write about?
I have no clue. I would be sitting in the room in awe at first. And I don't know. I have no clue. I'd probably want to go back because I love the music that he used to do in the clubs. That he changed the music game as far as church music, combining church music and blues.
Yeah.
So I would love to go back there and just sit.
Wow.
And listen.
Be a fly on the wall.
You know what I'm saying? A fly on the wall. If I could go back and be a fly on the wall, I would be fine with that.
I loved it. Like I would love to be a fly on the wall with Johnny Cash and all that.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Because I went through 19 years of addictions until God healed me 13 years ago. But first 5 years of our marriage was really hectic on her because of those addictions. And so when we watched a story of Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash,
Oh yes, a movie, Walk the Line.
and it's like we can relate to them because they are us, we are them. So it's really crazy. And we're in the entertainment world. Just not we can't sing, but we're here.
Maybe we can talk.
But what's been cool about it is we actually did interview Anna Christina Cash, who's married to John Carter Cash, their son.
Wow, that's amazing. Did you tell them the story? Did y'all watch the movie?
I think we watched a movie after, but we did. But I did. We did tell her how to look up to them and all that because of our story. Because so many parallels with their story, our stories. Again, because I don't know how she put up with me, just like I don't know how June put up with Johnny. And
That's love. This love. A woman's love is unmatched.
Yeah, she was definitely my angel during those rough times.
Oh, thank you.
So now this probably has 1,000 answers.
Oh, at
just
least. Yeah.
Think of the first one that comes to mind. What is a song you've heard that you wish you wrote?
Oh God. Well, the first song that I thought about was "Best Thing" by Anaya. I thought that song was beautiful, like beautiful. When I heard it, I was like, Jesus Christ! I know that this sounds like something that I would say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I covered that song on my page, and then Chris Brown shared it. It was so deep to my heart. That I shared it on my page, and when Chris Brown shared it, I cried the whole entire day.
So that's like when people hit like on our stuff on Instagram, like, look, Sandy, look.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I look up to a guy named Ty Bentley, who's kind of like Bobby Bones on a lower scale, but he's definitely getting bigger and all that. And he's kind of like a mentor. We tweet back and forth from time to time if I got questions about the whole industry. And I remember him telling him who our first two people on the show was, and he's talked about how smart that was.
Yeah, he's like genius.
That was genius. So I clipped that, and I've got that saved on our computer. Him saying that.
That's pretty cool.
So this, back in 2015, we interviewed Kelsey Ballerini before everybody pretty much knew who she was. And I asked her where she wanted to be in 5 years. I always like to tell this story before I ask the guests that same question, because the answer Kelsey gave us 6 years ago is almost to the tune that she's living right now. So knowing that, where do you want to be in 5 years?
I want to be super rich. I'm just kidding. I do want to be rich, but I would like to be an international, recording artist. Like I want to be everywhere at one time, doing so many different things. Building so many different, businesses, investing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I just and I want to, and I know this sounds crazy, but I want a ranch really, really bad. Oh, wow. Because like where I'm from, we grow a lot of our vegetables and fruits, and we take care, of our own animals. So I would like to continue doing that with my family, control our eating. Yeah. So that would be ideal for me.
I love that. Now let's look 15 years down the road, and let's say that you're a success on a grand scale. Whatever that looks like, you made it. If the person you are today could meet her, your future successful self, what would you remind her?
To always stay humble, remember where you came from, and always stay true to who you are, because what I've heard since I've been doing this with different people, they say the same thing, is make sure you stay humble. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that means, because I'm a super sweet, humble person, but I guess the music or the industry, I guess it changes you. Yeah. I'm a very grounded person, so if I had to tell myself, that would probably be the thing. Just stay grounded, stay humble, and stay true to yourself.
Love that.
Awesome. And how would you describe your music to someone who hasn't heard it yet?
I would have to say it is the truth. Everything that I sing about comes from experience or someone else's experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes you feel, and I hope it makes you feel a different way than any music has ever made you feel. And I hope it takes you through something and gets you out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what music's supposed to be. Music's supposed to move you.
And music is healing.
And that's what I want. I want that. That's exactly what I want. I want it to be timeless. So, yeah.
Yes. Oh, and we have a question from Joe.
Says, do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. My YouTube channel is Alexia Jayy with 2 Y's and 2 underscores.
Okay.
And my Instagram, all of my social media is Alexia Jayy, 2 Y's, 2 underscores.
Oh, wow.
And what would you like your legacy to be as an artist? What would you like to be known and remembered for?
I want to be known as that girl who can sing. Like, she can sing, and when she comes on stage, you know she's gonna sing. I don't want to give people anything that my mother would hate, because my mom, she was my Joe Jackson. So when I sing, with everything that I have. So I want people to always remember me by always giving her all every time she got on stage or every time she got on a song.
Yeah, like I remember someone saying they want to live full and die empty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And I've always remembered that, because I think that's a really great thing, because I want to live to the fullest as I can, so that when I'm on my deathbed, I don't have any regret.
Exactly. I live by that. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. Because I mean, if you fail, it just teaches you something different, to go a different route. You know, not to ever do that again. So people who live with regrets, I feel bad. I really do, because you don't know what you're missing. You just don't know what you're missing in life. Live your life to the fullest.
Yeah, because I'd rather try and fail than never have tried at all.
Exactly, because you'll be sitting in your house saying, dang, I wonder if I would have did that time, what would have happened? Because when you get a little older with a little bit more wisdom, you tend to be like, well, that probably would have been that bad if I would have tried it.
And you know, and we've done like over 100 different business ideas that all have failed, but we're still here, and we still. In fact, they become our little warrior stories now.
Oh yeah, they give us stories. We learned what not to do.
Yeah, it'll teach you.
So as we come to the last question here, so you had a friend of yours that you heard him or her singing. They've got something special. As Simon Cowell would say, they have that it factor. Mm-hmm. And they played maybe 40 or 50 shows, but they're still getting their feet wet on the performance side. But they've got what every artist says, a stage bug, where they look over the crowd's roaring for them, and they know they're in the right place. And they come to you and they say, I know I'm supposed to do this for the rest of my life. What advice would you give that person?
I would say, if you know that you're supposed to do this for the rest of your life, then do this for the rest of your life. At the end of the day, it's not going to be easy. Nothing that you love is easy. I don't care what it is. You have to continue to work hard. You have to practice every day. To whatever craft you do, you have to practice. Because if you don't practice, then it's not going to come out like you want to. Nothing's going to come out how you want to if you don't practice your craft. If you keep practicing, you'll get better. You can only get better from practicing. So if that is what you want to do, keep doing it. Keep get more connections. Do everything that you have to do in your craft to get to where you're trying to get.
That's like, I'm sure our show's gotten better from day one to now 400 shows.
Exactly. You know, you got to keep going. It's all about persistence.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So as we come to a close here, tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all on Alexia Jayy with 2 Y's and 2 underscores.
Love that. And, you know, we really enjoyed having you on the show today, and we look forward to having you back.
I really enjoyed you guys too, and I enjoyed your son as well.
Oh, okay.
You have a great day.
You too. Thank you guys.